Imagine holding a small piece of American history in the palm of your hand, the Lincoln penny, a coin that's not just a symbol of tradition, but a treasure trove of untold wealth. What if I told you that some of these pennies could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Stick around to discover the hidden riches buried in your pocket change. Coin 1. They say the smallest things in life can hold the greatest value. A single cent, one humble penny, often overlooked, tossed into jars, lost between couch cushions. But what if I told you that a 1963 Lincoln penny, the kind without any mint mark, could be the key to a small fortune? Yes, that tiny copper coin you may have seen lying idle in a dusty drawer might just be worth far more than 1 cent. This is not fiction. This is numismatic gold. Let's rewind time. The year is 1963. The United States stands at the edge of transformation. President John F. Kennedy is still alive, inspiring the nation. Martin Luther King Jr. delivers speeches that stir the soul. The Beatles are just beginning their global takeover. And in the U.S. Mint, copper presses are striking millions of 1-cent coins. Coins bearing the stoic profile of the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. But not all coins are created equal. Among the billions minted that year, some Lincoln pennies, especially those without any mint mark, have become the stuff of legends. Why? It's not just the copper. It's not just the age. It's the story, the rarity, the microscopic differences that only the most eagle-eyed collectors can spot. And sometimes, it's pure magic. These 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally left off mint marks until the late 20th century. At first glance, they might look like any other penny, but under the surface? Secrets, variations, a touch of rarity that can drive collectors into a frenzy. Certain varieties, especially with double dyes or rich luster and flawless surfaces, have skyrocketed in value. You heard that right, skyrocketed. Picture this. A collector walks into an auction house, eyes gleaming. In his hands, a coin that weighs just over 3 grams, made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It's a 1963 Lincoln cent, brilliant red, untouched by time. The room goes silent. The bidding war begins. Numbers climb. 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. The gavel slams. Sold. To a bidder who knows exactly what he's holding. And yes, this has happened. At an auction hosted by Heritage Auctions, a pristine red example of the 1963 Lincoln penny, graded MS67RD by PCGS, fetched an astonishing $7,050. One penny, 1 cent, $7,000. Let that sink in. But that's not even the most outrageous part. The real treasure lies not just in the high-grade examples, but in the hunt. Because out there, in pockets, purses, and penny jars across America, could be coins that never saw the spotlight. Coins struck with double dyes, off-center presses, or breathtaking red luster. Coins hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to find them. The design itself is a masterpiece in miniature. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, introduced in 1909, was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. It was revolutionary, and by 1963, his design had become iconic, unchanged, unchallenged, and deeply respected. On the obverse, Lincoln's gaze is firm and steady. To the right, the date, 1963. No mint mark beneath. That silence speaks volumes. It means Philadelphia. Flip it over, and you're met with the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity, of resilience. The steps, the columns, even the tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside. Yes, it's there if you look closely enough. The reverse design, introduced in 1959, celebrated the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth, and it brought with it a wave of national pride. That pride still echoes today. Each penny tells a story. But the 1963 Lincoln cent without a mint mark? That one speaks in hushed tones to collectors. It tells stories of Cold War America, of families saving change in jars, of numismatists hunting through rolls with magnifying glasses, dreaming of a once-in-a-lifetime find. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't just see 1 cent. See history. See possibility. See a golden ticket hiding in copper clothing. Because somewhere out there, a 1963 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, just like yours, could be the one that changes everything. Coin 2. In the quiet hum of mid-1970s America, a small copper coin clinked into circulation, hardly noticed by most. It was just another penny, at least to the untrained eye. But little did the world know, the 1974 Lincoln penny, especially those carrying a small but mighty mint mark, would go on to stir up intrigue, collector obsession, and even appear under the dazzling lights of auction houses decades later. It was a year of transition, of experimentation, and a subtle drama within the U.S. Mint itself. And from that story rose a coin that would become far more than its face value. The penny's journey begins with Abraham Lincoln himself, engraved into the obverse since 1909, making the Lincoln cent one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. By 1974, the Lincoln penny had already seen decades of changes and historical milestones. But what makes the 1974 issue stand out isn't just the famous face on the front, it's what was happening behind the scenes. That year, inflation was squeezing the American economy. The cost of copper had soared so high that the metal in a single penny was nearly worth more than the coin itself. The U.S. Mint was in a scramble to find an alternative. Secretly, they began experimenting with different metals, even creating aluminum test coins. But while those aluminum versions never made it into circulation, the standard copper coins, with that tiny D or S mint mark tucked below the date, held their ground. And now, decades later, they shine not only in history books, but also in coin auctions, where collectors with deep pockets vie for their place in numismatic legacy. In 1974, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies, but without a mint mark. The real intrigue lies with the Denver and San Francisco mints. The coins marked D and S had lower mintages and greater scrutiny, especially as the aluminum coin saga unfolded. Collectors began paying attention to any variation, any flaw, any double die, any anomaly that could make a common coin suddenly extraordinary. And among them, the 1974 S penny, struck in San Francisco, earned special attention for its brilliant proof finish and lower mintage. These proof coins, minted with mirror-like precision, were never meant for circulation. Instead, they were sold in special sets to collectors, and today, pristine examples graded at PR70 can command hundreds of dollars or more. But it's the 1974 D penny that sparked one of the biggest surprises in recent auction history. Though it was struck in huge quantities, rumors swirled of rare errors and varieties. One such coin, perfectly struck, flawlessly preserved, and carrying a near-perfect red hue, appeared at a prestigious auction. The bidding started modestly, but within minutes, it exploded into a frenzy. Collectors knew they weren't just bidding on a penny. They were bidding on a slice of monetary history, a relic of economic experimentation and minting tradition. That 1974 D. Lincoln penny sold for a stunning $14,100 at Heritage Auctions in Dallas, Texas. Proof that even the smallest coin can carry a mighty legacy. As our story unfolds, we step deeper into the minds of collectors, historians, and those drawn to the world of numismatics not just for profit, but for the thrill of the hunt. What is it about the 1974 penny that keeps people looking, keeps people hoping to find that one gleaming coin in an old change jar? Is it the mystery of the aluminum test strikes? The drama of an economy on the brink of reshaping its smallest denomination? Or is it something more human? Our desire to uncover hidden value in the everyday, to believe that something ordinary could actually be extraordinary? One collector, An elderly gentleman from Ohio recalled finding a 1974 D penny in nearly mint condition in a roll of pennies at his local bank. Curious, he sent it for grading, thinking nothing of it. When the results came back, MS-67 read, he was stunned. That tiny coin, which cost him just 1 cent, was now worth hundreds. It's these stories, passed down from collector to collector, that keep the legend alive. Another collector, a young enthusiast from California, built her collection around Lincoln cents. When she acquired a proof 1974 penny graded PR 69 DCM, it became the crown jewel of her set. She had spent months researching, scouring online forums, and saving every dollar to win it at auction. And when it arrived, carefully encased in its plastic slab, it wasn't just a coin. It was a triumph, a reward for persistence and passion. The Lincoln penny has always stood for more than just a cent. It's a symbol of thrift, of unity, of Lincoln's enduring legacy. And the 1974 edition, with its dual legacy of transition and tradition, carries that symbolism even further. Whether it's the brilliant proof from San Francisco, the solid strike from Denver, or the standard issue from Philadelphia, each 1974 penny has its own story to tell. And every collector who holds one becomes a part of that story, adding their own chapter to a legacy over a century in the making. As we dive further into the world of 1974 Lincoln cents, we'll explore the subtle design shifts, the fascinating minting process, and the rare varieties that have shocked the collecting world. We'll uncover how to spot a true gem, what makes a coin grade-worthy, and why some specimens have reached values that defy expectation. We'll visit coin shows, auction floors, and even private collections to understand just how this humble copper coin became a numismatic icon. And eventually, we'll return to those auction houses, where history meets high stakes, and the next 1974 penny might just break another record. Will it be one with a blazing red luster, untouched by time? Or perhaps an obscure error, unknown to the world until now? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The 1974 Lincoln penny, with mint mark, is far more than just pocket change. It's a treasure in disguise, a piece of American history waiting to be discovered, admired, and remembered. Coin 3. In the heart of the United States, the year 1977 was marked by shifts in politics, cultural evolution, and quiet but impactful changes in industries that most people never noticed, like the steady hum of coin presses in the U.S. mint facilities. Amid the headlines of the Carter administration, the energy crisis, and pop culture revolutions, small copper coins were being struck at incredible speed, each bearing the face of a president whose legacy was etched in stone and steel: Abraham Lincoln. One such coin, seemingly ordinary, would become a hidden treasure in the years to come: the 1977 Lincoln penny with a mint mark. For many, the Lincoln penny was just spare change, rattling in pockets or sitting forgotten in jars. But for a keen-eyed collector, a variation in mint mark, a slight difference in strike, or even the subtlest error could mean the difference between face value and a four-figure auction hammer. And the 1977 Lincoln penny, especially those with the D or S mint marks, would prove that even the smallest coin can hold immense worth when history and rarity collide. The story of the 1977 penny begins long before it was struck. The Lincoln cent had been in production since 1909, a coin created to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original 1909 Lincoln cent was a radical departure from earlier U.S. coinage, featuring the first real human portrait in U.S. coin history. It was elegant, forward-looking, and patriotic. Fast forward to 1977, and the penny still bore Lincoln's iconic profile, one of the few constants in a world that had changed drastically over the decades. But even as the design remained familiar, the production details and minting process evolved. In 1977, the U.S. Mint operated out of three key locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each facility struck coins with subtle variations. The Denver Mint used the D mint mark, San Francisco coins bore the S, and Philadelphia, as was tradition, struck coins without a mint mark. Though these mint marks were small, almost invisible without a magnifying glass, they would come to represent powerful clues to a coin's origin, rarity, and value. Collectors often look beyond the visible. They dig deep, seeking stories etched into metal by history, errors, and anomalies. The 1977 Lincoln penny has all three. For instance, while most 1977 pennies were struck in copper-plated zinc, variations in metal composition occasionally surfaced. A few error coins were minted on bronze planchets or struck off-center, giving them a unique appearance. Others featured doubling in the inscriptions or Lincoln's profile, errors that could push their value skyward. But what truly began to stir excitement among numismatists was the condition and grading of the coin. The average circulated 1977 penny might fetch a few cents, barely above its face value. But in pristine, uncirculated condition, that was a different story. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by top institutions like PCGS or NGC began to attract attention at auctions. And as demand for high-grade coins grew, so did their hammer prices. Take, for example, an auction held by Heritage Auctions in 2014. A 1977 D Lincoln penny, graded MS 67 RD by PCGS, commanded a jaw-dropping price of $7,050. Why? Because out of the hundreds of millions struck that year, very few survived in such impeccable condition. The coin's color, luster, and strike were all deemed near perfect. And in a world of mass production, perfection is a premium. In another auction, a 1977 S-proof penny meticulously struck for collectors by the San Francisco Mint fetched over $900 due to its deep cameo contrast and flawless surfaces. These proof coins were never meant for circulation. They were struck multiple times with specially prepared dies, resulting in sharper details and mirror-like fields. To find one in pristine, untouched condition decades later is like discovering a sealed time capsule. But it's not just about auctions and values. The true appeal of the 1977 Lincoln penny lies in its role as a gateway. For many collectors, this coin was their first real discovery, the moment they realized that hidden in the everyday were objects of great beauty, history, and worth. Kids found them in their change, older collectors stumbled upon them while sorting boxes, and treasure hunters searched rolls by the hundreds, hoping to find that one gleaming coin that could change everything. Every scratch, every tarnish, every polished edge tells a story. Maybe that coin passed through 1,000 hands, traveled across states, rested in wallets and tip jars, or even got lost in couch cushions for decades. And yet, here it was, ready to shine once more under the numismatist's lens. The 1977 penny's value is also tied to its symbolic significance. It's a representation of continuity in a changing world. As gas prices surged and disco ruled the airwaves, the Lincoln penny remained unchanged, a steady emblem of American heritage. For that reason, collectors not only prize the coin's physical condition but its place in the broader tapestry of U.S. history. And then, there are the thrill seekers, the roll hunters. They pore over bankrolls, dollar after dollar, searching for that elusive MS-67 or that rare error coin. When one is found, it's not just a win, it's a validation of patience, passion, and purpose. For these treasure hunters, the 1977 Lincoln penny becomes more than a collectible, it becomes a trophy. Behind every rare coin is a story of craftsmanship, oversight, and sometimes sheer luck. The mint employees who struck the 1977 penny likely never imagined the frenzy that some of their coins would spark decades later. They were simply doing their jobs, ensuring every cent met federal standards, fit into vending machines, and helped keep commerce flowing. But now, each preserved coin is a tribute to their unspoken contribution. As we delve deeper into the mysteries and rarities of the 1977 penny, the narrative unfolds like a detective story, complete with clues, suspects, and a final twist. How can one identify a rare 1977 D over a common one? What do doubling, die breaks, and strike-through errors look like? How do you preserve a coin once it's found? And what grading services should you trust? These questions are not just technical, they're part of the adventure. And for those lucky enough to own a 1977 penny with a recognized mint mark, especially in near-perfect condition, the rewards can be stunning. Coin dealers often seek them for private collections. Museums sometimes acquire them to complete century-spanning exhibits. And some end up on eBay, Etsy, or high-end numismatic sites, where bidding wars erupt over coins once worth just 1 cent. One collector recalled the story of how his 1977 penny, picked from a proof set inherited from his grandfather, was later sold for over $1,000 after grading. Another found a double-die 1977 D in a random coin jar, only to realize its rarity years later when a dealer spotted the error during a local appraisal event. These stories aren't just lucky finds, they're part of what makes collecting so addictive. Coin 4. The 1978 Lincoln Penny, with its iconic design and distinctive mint marks, stands as one of the most cherished pieces in the world of coin collecting. Its allure lies not just in the intricate details that define it, but also in the fascinating history that surrounds it. If you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or history buff, this particular penny brings with it a story that spans decades of American history, a deep dive into the world of minting, and an impressive collector's market that has seen its value grow over time. We begin our journey in the early 20th century, a time when the United States was still in the midst of profound economic and political change. By 1909, the U.S. Mint had introduced a new design for its 1-cent coin, which would be forever associated with President Abraham Lincoln. It was a significant break from tradition, marking the first time an American president was featured on regular coinage. Fast forward to 1978, and the Lincoln penny had already become a staple in American life. However, as with all coins in circulation, the 1978 penny, though often seen as a simple piece of change, held more beneath its surface. The Lincoln penny of 1978 is a symbol of consistency. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner. Since its introduction, this design has seen little change, making it an enduring representation of American history and the legacy of one of the country's most revered presidents. The reverse, which was changed in 1959 to feature the Lincoln Memorial, remained unchanged in 1978. This striking image, designed by Frank Gasparo, is a tribute to the memorial that stands in Washington, D.C., an enduring symbol of Lincoln's leadership and the values he fought to protect. As we dive deeper into the coin's historical context, we recognize that 1978 was a year that witnessed significant shifts in the political and economic landscape of the United States. Jimmy Carter was in office, and the nation was grappling with issues like inflation, energy crises, and a changing global order. However, these larger forces didn't affect the minting of coins, at least not visibly. The penny remained a reflection of a stable, enduring America, with its design grounded in the past, but serving as a constant reminder of progress and change. But the 1978 Lincoln penny wasn't just any regular coin. Its design and minting details make it a significant find for collectors. Like all U.S. coins of this era, the 1978 penny was struck at one of the 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Each of these locations left their mark on the coin, and it's here that the mint mark becomes crucial for collectors. Mint marks are small letters located on the obverse of the coin, just beneath the year, that indicate where the coin was struck. If you examine a 1978 Lincoln penny, you'll find the familiar D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or the absence of any mark, which indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The mint mark plays a crucial role in determining a coin's rarity, with some mint marks being far rarer than others. The Denver and San Francisco minted versions of the 1978 penny while not as scarce as some years, hold unique appeal for collectors looking to complete their sets. Now, let's talk about the coin's composition, which is vital for understanding its long-term preservation and collector value. The 1978 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that was used for U.S. pennies up until 1982, when the coin's composition was altered to primarily zinc with a copper coating. This copper alloy gives the coin its distinct reddish-brown hue, a feature that has made it a recognizable part of American coinage for over a century. Over time, these coins naturally develop a patina, giving them a unique look that appeals to collectors who appreciate the wear and aging process. As we move from history to the world of coin collecting, the 1978 Lincoln penny has certainly earned its place in the hearts of many collectors. But what about its value? The answer isn't as simple as one might think. While the 1978 penny is still in circulation and remains relatively common, its value can vary significantly depending on several factors, such as its mint mark, condition, and rarity. In general, a 1978 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is worth only its face value, 1 cent. However, the story doesn't end there. Like most coins, the condition of the penny has a significant impact on its market value. For example, a 1978 penny in mint state, meaning it has been well preserved, with no visible signs of wear, can fetch a price significantly higher than its face value. Such coins, graded as MS 65 or higher, can sometimes sell for a few dollars. But what about the rarer mint marks? If you're lucky enough to own a 1978 San Francisco minted penny, its value can increase, especially if it's in excellent condition. These coins are often sought after by collectors who specialize in San Francisco minted coins, adding an extra layer of demand to the market. Additionally, coins that have been professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can see their value skyrocket. These grading services examine each coin meticulously, assigning it a grade based on its condition, rarity, and overall appeal. Coins that receive high grades, especially from top-tier mints like San Francisco, have been known to fetch several $100s at auction. For example, a 1978 Lincoln penny in mint state could command anywhere from $30 to $100 depending on its quality. The auction world is where the true magic happens for rare coins. Auctions are a critical part of the coin collecting scene, offering enthusiasts the chance to purchase sought-after pieces at competitive prices. In recent years, the 1978 Lincoln penny has been featured in numerous coin auctions, where it has attracted significant attention. At a 2021 auction held by Stack's Bowers Galleries, for instance, a 1978 Lincoln penny in MS 67 condition, one of the highest grades achievable for a coin of this era, sold for $120, a remarkable price for a coin originally valued at just 1 cent. So, what can you expect to pay for a 1978 Lincoln penny in today's market? While the face value of the coin remains unchanged, collectors can expect to find well-preserved examples of the 1978 penny selling for anywhere between $5 to $50, depending on their grade and mint mark. Rarer examples, especially those that have been certified by reputable grading services and are in excellent condition, could fetch prices much higher, with some even reaching several $100s in the right market conditions. In the world of coin collecting, it's important to remember that value is not just about the price tag. It's also about the history, the craftsmanship, and the journey the coin has taken over the years. The 1978 Lincoln penny, with its rich history, unique design, and varying mint marks, offers collectors a glimpse into America's past while allowing them to invest in a tangible piece of history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1978 Lincoln penny provides a fascinating window into the world of numismatics and the ongoing love affair between collectors and coins. And when you hold that penny in your hand, whether it's a simple coin or a high-grade gem, you're not just holding a piece of metal, you're holding a piece of American history. With each auction, with every sale, the 1978 Lincoln penny continues to tell its story, captivating collectors and enthusiasts for generations to come. Coin 5. The 1981 Lincoln penny stands as a remarkable coin, captivating collectors and numismatists with its historical context, distinct design, and intriguing minting details. For many, this particular penny is a symbol of the times, both in the life of the United States and in the realm of coinage. In its seemingly humble form, the 1981 Lincoln penny carries with it a fascinating journey that stretches across decades, tying together the legacy of Abraham Lincoln with the changing world of American currency. We begin our exploration in the early 1980s, a period marked by significant economic shifts and political changes in the United States. It was a time when the country was navigating the aftermath of the 1970s energy crisis, dealing with high inflation, and adjusting to the era of Ronald Reagan's presidency. These were turbulent times for the American economy, and yet, amidst the chaos, the Lincoln penny remained a steadfast symbol of continuity. It was a coin that, though small and simple, connected the citizens of the United States with the deep history of their nation. The Lincoln penny of 1981 continues the tradition of featuring the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design created by Victor David Brenner. This image, which had been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1909, immortalized Lincoln's face, serving as a tribute to his leadership during one of America's most difficult eras, the Civil War. Despite the political and social changes in the 1980s, Lincoln's image on the penny remained unchanged. His likeness, as poignant and recognizable as ever, continued to be a constant, grounding Americans in their shared history. On the reverse side of the 1981 penny, you find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. This was the design that replaced the wheat ears on the reverse in 1959, marking a significant shift in U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, is an iconic symbol of the United States, representing the enduring ideals that Lincoln fought to preserve. For many collectors, the memorial's detailed rendering continues to evoke the grandeur and significance of Lincoln's legacy, making the penny more than just a coin. It becomes a reminder of the principles of freedom and unity. While the design of the 1981 penny may seem straightforward, it's the minting details that add layers of intrigue for collectors. As with other U.S. coins from this era, the 1981 Lincoln penny was minted at one of the three primary U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The absence of a mint mark on this particular coin indicates that it was struck in Philadelphia, a feature that has special significance for those in the world of numismatics. While the minting locations are a known aspect of U.S. coinage, the lack of a mint mark on a coin from Philadelphia is often seen as a unique characteristic that helps distinguish coins from that particular mint. This is important because mint marks, small letters located beneath the year on the obverse, help collectors trace the origins of a coin. A coin with a mint mark provides valuable insight into its production history, and some collectors place extra emphasis on specific mints due to their historical significance or rarity. The absence of a mint mark on the 1981 Lincoln penny may seem insignificant to the untrained eye, but for many collectors, this absence actually adds to its charm, as it serves as a reminder of the historical context in which the coin was made. The 1981 Lincoln penny was struck using the same copper-plated zinc composition that was used for pennies from 1962 until 1982. And this alloy remains one of the key features that collectors examine when assessing the value of the coin. The copper plating gives the penny its reddish-brown color, making it instantly recognizable. Over time, these pennies develop a unique patina that adds character and charm, and this natural aging process is one of the reasons why collectors find coins like the 1981 penny so appealing. When well preserved, these pennies offer a tangible connection to the past, showcasing the durability and beauty of the materials used. However, As with most coins, the value of the 1981 Lincoln penny is determined by several factors, including its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. In its most basic form, the 1981 Lincoln penny has a face value of just 1 cent. Yet, the real appeal lies in its potential to be more than just pocket change. Coins that are well preserved or that have unique qualities can fetch impressive prices on the market, and the 1981 Lincoln penny is no exception. In terms of value, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role. A 1981 penny in average circulated condition is generally worth only its face value, 1 cent. However, if the penny is well preserved, without significant wear or scratches, its value can increase significantly. Coins that are graded as uncirculated or mint state can see their value rise dramatically, often fetching anywhere from $1 to $5 depending on the overall condition and grade. These coins are highly prized by collectors who seek to complete sets or add pristine examples of specific years to their collections. But what about the truly rare specimens? The 1981 Lincoln penny, though not one of the rarest coins, has seen a rise in value in recent years due to a variety of factors. For example, if you come across a 1981 penny with no noticeable wear and with sharp, clear details on the design, you could expect to see it fetch a higher price at auction. A particularly well-preserved specimen with perfect details and luster could command prices upwards of $50 to $100. This would be especially true if it has been professionally graded by a recognized numismatic grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). These grading organizations help to authenticate the coin and assign it a grade, which can greatly influence its value in the marketplace. At coin auctions, where coins are bought and sold to the highest bidder, the 1981 Lincoln penny has been known to fetch impressive amounts. In 2019, for example, a pristine 1981 penny with exceptional grading MS-67 was sold at a public auction for nearly $150. The auction, hosted by Heritage Auctions, was one of the premier events for coin enthusiasts and collectors, and it highlighted the continued demand for high-quality examples of common coins like the 1981 Lincoln penny. This particular penny, with its sharp features and flawless appearance, attracted attention from collectors who were eager to add a rare piece to their collections. In general, the auction value of a 1981 Lincoln penny will depend on the buyer's interest in the coin's condition, rarity, and overall appeal. Though the market for pennies like this is not as heated as for some of the rarer coins in the U.S. mint's history, the 1981 penny continues to draw attention. The absence of a mint mark, paired with the sharpness of its design, makes it an appealing piece for those who enjoy collecting more recent, yet historically rich, coins. The presence of the 1981 Lincoln penny in numismatic circles reflects the ongoing passion of coin collectors, who appreciate the artistry, history, and rarity of coins. For those who are new to the world of coin collecting, this penny is an excellent starting point. It represents a bridge between the past and the present, a tangible artifact from a time when the world was navigating through complex global challenges. To hold the 1981 Lincoln penny is to hold a piece of history, a history that continues to resonate with collectors today. As we look ahead, the future of the 1981 Lincoln penny is promising. It continues to be sought after by those who appreciate the artistry of U.S. coinage and the historical context behind each piece. And as coin collecting grows in popularity, there's no doubt that the 1981 penny will continue to be part of this exciting journey, captivating new generations of collectors who will marvel at its story, its design, and its place in American history. So, whether you're holding this coin in your hand or bidding on it at an auction, remember that the 1981 Lincoln penny is more than just a penny. It's a connection to the past, a piece of American history, and a coin that, with the right collector's touch, can continue to rise in value for years to come.